Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about the classification of data structure. So here I am writing the topic. So there are the various categories into which we can classify our data structure. Here I am listing the overall categories that are here. The first category is major categories. There are so many categories are over there, but here I am talking about the major categories which is used simply to classify our data structures. So here I am taking first one is the primitive versus non-primitive. So that is the first criteria, and into which we will simply try to categorize our overall classify the data structure. Second one, that is I'm taking is the linear versus non-linear. Third one is dynamic, that is dynamic versus static. Fourth one is over there, that is contiguous versus non-contiguous. Fifth one, the criteria, that is the homogeneous versus heterogeneous. So these are the majorly 5 categories, and which we simply try to classify our data structure. So in case of primitive, if I see the things here, I am trying to list in the left hand side, I'll classify the things for the primitive. In the right hand side, I'll classify for the non-primitive. In the similar manner for the non-linear, linear, dynamic, static, contiguous, non-contiguous, homogeneous, and heterogeneous I'll do. So in case of primitive, that means primitive data structure, if I'm talking, that means whatever the data structure that is only handling with the single data. So that is called the primitive data. So single data here I'm handling. So that is the data structure over here is that integer, float, character, boolean, etc. These are the your primitive data type, because these are handling with the single data only. If I go for the non-primitive, so that is handling for the, that is the single data. In case of single data, so the data structure will be like a integer, float, character, and boolean. Etc. Something or like a double also you can use, or some others you can use. If I'm talking about the non-primitive data structure, so in case of non-primitive data structure, that is handling with the multiple data, not a single data. I'm handling with the multiple data. So in case of multiple data, so what exactly the data structure here we are going to deal with, that means it is dealing with not only single, with more than one data. So the first data structure that is there, that will be the arrays, then linked list, then stack, queue, tree, graph. So these are the non-primitive, because they are using the multiple data. So that is the difference between one. Another criteria is over there, linear versus non-linear. So in case of linear, if I go to classify the things, so whatever for linear, non-linear, that means that is also handling with the multiple data. Both of the terms will deal with the multiple data. But in case of multiple data, if it is the linear, that means the structure it will go like a linear. So in that case, that will go for the array, linked list, stack, queue. So these are the linear data structure, because if you will see the array, that will take the things like in this way, that is linear. So linearly it is in one structure. Linked list, if I try to create, so in that case that is also like in this way, simplest linked list that will take in this way. So that is also, it is like a linear. This one the data part, and that is the next, so link part, it is link. So in the same way, data, link, data, link. So that is the your once again it is linear. A stack, so whenever I go to use a stack, so that will also like a linear, and it will take the things of in this way. Operation will be performed only from the one side, like a top of the stack. So that will be either push operation, pop operation, whatever you are performing. Similarly, queue also is a linear, because it is using in that way. So that is queue. So insertion will have occur at this place, and the deletion will occur at the, sorry, insertion at the this place, and deletion is that place. and this one is called front, and this one is called rear. Like a queue at the railway reservation system, that is the queue, exactly queue, and that is always linear. So that's why it is the linear. In case of non-linear data structure, if I'm talking, so non-linear data structure, that is tree and graph. As we see the tree, or I'm here creating the picture over there for the tree, that is taking in this way, that is tree. So obviously it is non-linear. You can see the things, it is the binary tree, and because it has two children, in the detail we will discuss in the later on. So that is tree, so non-linear. Another one is the graph. So I'm creating in this way, that is the graph. This is the node and edges are over there. So this is non-linear data structure, and that is graph. This one is the tree and that is a graph. Contiguous and non-contiguous memory block. Sorry, another one is the dynamic versus static. So in case of dynamic data structure, that means it is with the requirement, if you are giving the memory space, so in that case that is dynamic, otherwise is static. So array mostly it is taken as a static. So here if we want to write, so array, that is static. Mostly in C we define to give the size during declaration of the array, so that is a static. And dynamic, that means here linked list you can use dynamic, so that is the dynamic. Contiguous and non-contiguous memory block. It will take your continuous memory block as a form of area, like the things are there. So array will come in the contiguous. And in case of non-contiguous, if I'm talking, so that is not associated. Here the one area is associated with the another one in that way. Suppose this memory block is over there, so next memory block will be associated with the edge of that one. That is called contiguous. In case of non-contiguous, so that will, here array is the contiguous, and non-contiguous, that is the linked list. It is non-contiguous. In the similar manner, homogeneous and heterogeneous. So the data structure which holds the data, whatever is of the similar type, that is called homogeneous, and that is having the different type of data, that is called heterogeneous. So in case of homogeneous, array will call the homogeneous data structure. Array once again homogeneous data structure, and this heterogeneous will go the linked list, because if you will see the overall fields of linked list, so like if I'm creating over here, so in that case this part might be data, this part of the link type, another type of data. Here I can take the data, another data. If I'm taking like this one data, so this data can be of the integer type, this data can be float type, this is a pointer link, so pointer type. So that is the heterogeneous data, because here you are using the different types of the data. But in case of homogeneous, like array, if you are taking, so the array is of the array of integer, array of character, array of a boolean number, or array of double, whatever you are using, that will have the similar type of data. So that is the overall classification of the data structure over here. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching it. Kindly subscribe and like the channel to get latest videos and updates. Few more channels are also there in the last to get latest updates in new dimensions and domains. Kindly subscribe and like them as well.